Hey, what's up YouTube? You're watching Shoe DIY, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to loosely lace your Jordan 6s. So getting straight into it, we're going to be using our laces and we're going to be using the lace lock. And for this lacing style, the lace lock is going to be sitting at the front of the shoe. So the first thing we're going to need to do is to thread the lace through the lace lock. So press the button down, pass your lace through until round about the centre of the lace, and then to make sure that we've got the same amount of lace on both sides, we're going to bring the laces together. Make sure at the end you've got the laces sitting right next to each other. Hold that in one hand, take your lace lock in the other, press down the button and pull. And as you pull on the lace lock, you'll ensure that you've got the same amount of lace on both sides. So just checking now that the lace that's passing through the lock is nice and flat. So I'm just going to twist mine over until it looks nice and tidy, and then it's going to sit at the front of the shoe. So I'm going to start on the outside shoe first, taking the lace down the first hole. Just making sure as well that as the lace passes through it didn't twist, it stays nice and flat. Then I'm going to take the other side of the lace and I'm going to pass that down through the inside first hole. So if your laces do twist, just pull them out a little bit and then take them back down through the hole. And I'm going to pull on that to make sure that that first little bit is nice and flat. And then I'm going to take the outside lace across the shoe to the inside first hole. So I'm going to flatten the lace down as I take it across, and then as I pull the lace through the hole, I'm going to loop it onto my finger, which gives it that nice loose look. Then I'm going to take the inside lace across the shoe to the outside second hole, and I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to pull the lace and loop it on my finger, and then keeping that outside lace in my hand, I'm going to take it across the shoe to the inside third hole. So always making sure that the lace passing over is nice and flat. In fact, having said that, I think it's twisted slightly, so take it out, bring it back in again, and then loop it on your hand. Then take the inside lace across the shoe to the outside third hole. And keeping that lace in my hand, I'm going to take the outside lace across the shoe to the inside fourth hole. And then I'm going to take the inside lace across the shoe to the outside fourth hole. And I'm just going to check that all my laces are the same as they move up the shoe. So I'm just going to adjust them before I carry on. And I'm also going to make sure that my little lace lock is sitting on top of those first couple of laces. So I've got it looking just the way I like. And now changes slightly because we're going to be taking the laces through this part of the shoe, the tongue with the larger Jumpman on. So some people undo the press stud, but I don't do that because sometimes it wears a little bit loose and then it can pop open when you're wearing it. So to make sure that I can get to this bit easily, I'm going to just push the tongue back into the shoe, and then that opens up this area here a little bit more. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the outside lace, I'm going to pass it underneath here and bring it out that side. So just making sure it's nice and flat before I take it through. Pass it underneath, catch it with your hand, bring it through. Just making sure that it hasn't twisted as it goes through, and then you want to bring it over the top and down through the inside fifth hole. So give it a loop so it matches all the way up. Then I'm going to take the inside lace and I'm going to pass it through the bottom here and out the bottom there, making sure that it's going to sit on top of the lace that's already in there. So pass it through, just make sure it's nice and flat, and then it's going to go over the outside fifth hole, and again give it a loop. And then this time I'm going to keep that lace in my hand and it's going to go underneath the bottom here and out through the top. So to make it a bit easier to get in there, I'm going to lift it over with my finger, pass the lace underneath, catch it with that finger and pull it up. And then that's going to come over the top and down through the inside 6th hole. Again, give it a bit of a loop. And then I'm going to take the inside lace, and this time I'm going to pass it underneath the bottom here and out through the top. So I'm going to again open up that space a bit with my finger, pass it underneath, catch it and pull it up through. It can be a little bit tricky to get it underneath there. Pull it up, and then that's going to go round the side and down through the outside 6th hole. So again, make sure to catch it on your finger, give it a loop. Just make sure as it passes through, it sits nice and flat. And then the next bit is we're going to take the outside lace and we're going to bring it across the shoe, and this time we're going to go out through that last 7th inside hole. And then we're going to take the inside lace and we're going to pass that through across the shoe and bring it out through the outside 7th hole. I'm just going to make sure that the laces are the same. If you find that as you've gone up the shoe, one's slightly longer than the other, just pull your shoe out as you make your way back down, loosen it all out, and if you have got one that's slightly longer, you can work your way back a little bit and bring it out as you go down the shoe. Bring the tongue back up, make sure they're all crossed, and there you have your right foot loosely laced. And now we're going to move on to the left foot. So as you can see, I've put my lace lock in place, ready to start. Then we're going to take the outside lace first, bring it across the shoe to the inside 2nd hole. Make sure you pull it with a loop. Just going to check that that's not twisted as it's gone through there. Then we're going to bring the inside lace across the shoe to the outside 2nd hole. Then again, as you're pulling on the lace, loop it over your finger. Just make sure your 2 loops are the same. And I'm going to take the little lace lock and sit it on top of those laces. They're sitting there. Then I'm going to take the outside lace, bring it across the shoe and take it down through the inside 3rd hole. Then I'm going to take the inside lace across the shoe to the outside 3rd hole. Then I'm going to keep that lace in my hand. I'm going to take it across the shoe to the inside 4th hole. Then I'm going to take the inside lace across the shoe to the outside 4th hole. Then before I move on, I'm just going to check that my laces are the same as each other as I work my way up the shoe. Adjust where you need to. And then at this stage, we're going to take the outside lace and we're going to bring it across the tongue underneath the larger Jumpman. So I always find it easier to take the tongue down gently back into the shoe, and I don't lift the press stud either that's sitting there, because sometimes it can make it wear loose and then it can pop out when you're wearing them. So the outside lace now is going to pass under this here and come out the other side and then go down the inside 5th hole. So just make sure it's nice and flat. Pass it underneath there. Catch it with the other hand. And again, if it's twisted, just pull it out a little bit and then pull it back through. And then it's going to come out through the shoe and down through the inside 5th hole, making sure you give it a loop. Then we take the inside lace, we're going to pass it underneath here and out the other side here. And this time it's going to sit on top of the lace that's already in there. So pass it through the shoe. Just make sure it's sitting nice and flat as it goes through, so it's not going to twist. And then you bring it down the outside 5th hole. Give it a loop. And then this time the outside lace is going to go underneath the tongue and out through the top and then down through the inside 6th hole. So to make it easier, I open up that part of the shoe a little bit with my finger, make sure that the lace is nice and flat as you pass it underneath that bottom part, catch it there with your finger and pull it through the other side. And again, just make sure it's nice and flat as it runs under. So I'm just going to turn mine over, that's it, and then I'm going to bring it down through the inside 6th hole. And again, you want to make sure it's got a little bit of a loop. Then I'm going to take the inside lace, I'm going to bring it underneath here and out through the top. So again, make sure that you've opened it up a little bit. Flatten your lace, pass it through to the finger underneath there, and it will bring it up through. And then you want to take it down through the outside 6th hole and then give it a little bit of a loop, and then keeping that lace in your hand, you're going to pass it across the top and out through the inside 7th hole. And then you're going to take the inside lace, pass it across the shoe and out through the outside 7th hole. Just check now that your laces aren't hanging out too much. So that's my preference. You make sure that you've got it the length that you prefer. I'm just going to adjust all my loops as I go up the shoe. Bring the tongue back up again. Make sure the shoe is sitting looking just the way I want it to. And there you have your left Jordan 6 loosely laced. I hope that was helpful. And now I'm going to show you what they look like on feet.